the next step that we have to study is the comparison of actual performance with the standards. Okay, the third step given there is the comparison of actual performance with the standards. So in the first step we have made the standard. Second step we analyzed, or second step we found the actual performance. Then next step, the third step is that we make a comparison between these two. So like if the standard that we have made is 100 and the actual performance is 80. Okay, so 100 is the target or the standard that we have set in the first step, and when we measure the actual performance, it is only 80. Okay, now we are making a comparison. Okay, so we make a comparison and the deviation is found. How much variation is there? You understand? So that is the third step. At this step, actual performance is compared with the standards and the deviations are found out. Deviations can be of two types: negative deviation and the positive deviation. In the controlling process, it is important to know the causes of negative deviation, but it is not less important to know about the causes of positive deviations. Positive deviations means that the actual performance is more than the standard work. If the information received regarding the actual performance being more than the standard, the corrective action can help in improving the efficiency in future. So for example, if we have set the standard as 100, and if we got the actual performance when we measured, we found that this is there. So if the actual performance is less than the standard, it will be a negative deviation. Okay, we can say this is a negative deviation. So we can say that here minus 20 is it not? Minus 20 means 20 is less. Do you understand? But sometimes imagine that if we got 120 as the actual performance, then we have plus 20, you know, more than the standard. Okay, so there are two types of deviations are there. Either the deviation will be negative or that it will be positive. If the deviation is positive, which means that the actual performance is more than the standard that we have set. Okay, if the deviation is negative, which means that the actual performance is less than the standard that we have set. Okay, so we may be thinking that we have set the standard, only 100 we have set the standard, but we even more than we have seen. So it is very nice, isn't it? So there is no need of any controlling. We may be thinking like that, but it is not the fact like that. So we cannot simply think like that, because if the actual performance is more than the standard, then there is also some problem. Okay, sometimes the measurement of the actual one may not be correct. Okay, or sometimes the standard that we have set may not be correct. Okay, there may be some kind of problem. Okay, or there may be some kind of updation in technology will be there. Like when we have made the standard, we were keeping in mind that this is the machine or this is the technology that we are using. But actual performance when we are making it, we found that the updation in technology may be. So maybe there may be various reasons, but whatever may be the reason, if it is negative or if it is positive, we have to find out the reason for that. Okay, so different deviations have been shown in the following diagram. So here, just like as I told you, made an example here. So same way it is there. See, like 10 is the standard production. 10 units are there in the book. It is given, and if different actual production is given, see like same way this one almost similar way. This is given 100 and in this it is 10 only. So this is the standard. Okay. So actual there is 8, 10 and 12. So 3 workers are there, and 3 workers are performing like this. Okay. So if 8 units are there, so it means that there is a negative deviation and there is a minus 2. You know, there is a negative deviation. If this one, it is 0, the 0 deviation, there is no variation at all. And in this case, there is plus 2. Okay, there is a positive deviation. So there are 3 chances. Either it will be negative, or it will be 0, or it will be plus. Okay, there will be positive deviation or negative This one means that there is no deviation. Okay. So these three cases will be there. Okay. So zero deviation means that we can say that there is no deviation at all. So it is there is no any issue there. But if there is minus or if there is plus, and also as I told you, there is a toleration limit is there. Okay. So we can say that like if 10 is the target that we have set, and if we consider like if almost 9 is there, and only one minus 1 or plus 1 may be there, then it is not going to be affected much. Okay. Much type of actions, controlling processes, controlling is not required. But if it is more than that, so in different companies will have different ways of treating the deviation. Okay. So in some companies, if it is like up to 9, it is okay for them. There is no problem. In some other company, there will be 8 is also okay. But in some companies, they will say that you have to perform 10 itself. Okay. So different companies will have different policies, and depending on that, there may be variation. Okay. So we found that in the first step we set the standard. Second step we measured the actual performance, and in the third step we made a comparison and found where there is a deviation or not. Okay. Now we are moving to the fourth step, that is analyzing the deviations. Okay. So at this stage, deviation are analyzed. In the analysis of deviation, following things are studied. Is the standard being attained? If yes, nothing is needed to be done. The work will continue as usual. The actual performance will be measured, and the remaining process will be completed. Contrary to this, if the standard could not be achieved, answer to the next question will have to be found. Okay. So the first question that we have to say is that if the standard that we have set and the actual performance is the standard achieved or not. If the standard is achieved, then there is no issue. Okay, the things are going smoothly, there is no issue. The things will continue like that, and in the future also the production can be continued in the same. Okay, but if the deviation is there, so if there is a deviation, either it may be negative or positive, whatever may be the deviation. If it is in this case, first step itself, if the standard is achieved and if the standard is okay, things will go on smoothly. There is no any other action is not required. Okay, but if it is not, if this is the case, then we have to go to the second step. Second question we have to ask. So second question is that, is deviation acceptable? If the actual performance is below the standard but the deviation is acceptable, meaning thereby that the deviation is not so serious that it needs corrective action. Nothing is to be done, and the work will go on as usual. Contrary to this, if the deviation is not acceptable, answer to the next question will have to be found. So first question we have asked, is the standard achieved? So first, if the question answer is yes, then they are over. Okay. And if the answer is no, then we have to ask the next question, whether the standard is tolerable. Okay, if there is a minute change only there, only very, like as I told you, like 10 is the standard set and 9 achieved. Okay, so then one less is there, but also it is somewhat adjustable. Okay, so in that case also we don't need to go for any other steps not required. We can stop there. The things will go on smoothly. Okay, if it is not, if it is beyond a limit, then we have to ask the next question. Okay, and the next question is that, is standard acceptable? If the standard is acceptable, which means that nothing is wrong with it, the cause of deviation will be located. After this, corrective action will be taken and the work will progress. Contrary to this, if the standard already fixed is found to be wrong, answer to the next question will have to be found. So then, when the deviation is found and if the deviation is not tolerable, then we have to ask another question, whether the standard set is achievable or not. Okay, so we have, see, it is like we have made the person has achieved 8. Okay, and we have set the standard as 10. If the standard is too high, then people cannot achieve it. Is it not? So if a person is, it is the maximum capacity of a person that he is able to produce only 8 units. And if we have set the standard as 10, then he will never be able to achieve. Is it not? So in such a case, we will have to change the standard. But if the standard is okay, Okay. So like if there are 10 employees and 8 employees or 7 employees are able to achieve the standard and 2 or 3 employees are unable to achieve the standard. Okay. Then in that case we have to find out the reason. Or in other companies, when we make comparison with the other companies, so the companies which are using almost a similar method of production, they are able to achieve this one and we are unable to achieve. So then there is some kind of problem. Okay. So if the standard, we have to measure the standard, whether the standard is tolerable or not, and if the standard is okay, then we have to ask the next question that if the standard is if the standard is okay, then we have to motivate the employees or find out the reason why the employee is not able to perform or why the department is not able to perform, and we have to find out a solution for that. And if the standard is not okay, then next step has to be there, like revising the standard. If the standard is found to be wrong, it will have to be refixed. Thus a new standard will be set, actual performance will be measured, and the process will continue. So imagine that if we have found that 8 is the actual performance and 10 is the standard that we have set, and when we found that this one is like we found that the employees are working to their maximum capacity. Okay, so they are working to the maximum, and according to our situation and according to the method of production, we cannot produce 10. Okay, in such a case, we will have to revise the standard. We have to reduce the standard to 8. Okay, and when we set the standard as 8, then the deviation will be calculated, and there is a no deviation, so 0 deviation will be there, so it will continue like that. And if the standard is okay, in this case, if the standard is okay and if the worker is not able to perform or the department is not able to perform, then they will have to motivate the worker, or if the worker is not trained, we have to train the worker, or if the adequate machineries are not there, or if the machineries are not in the proper working condition, then we have to improve the quality of the machinery. If the like raw materials are not of good quality, then we have to increase the number of raw materials. So such kind of all the possible steps that we have to take. Okay. Then the next heading is that like a deviation tolerance limit. I have already told you about a deviation tolerance limit. So what is a deviation tolerance limit? Deviations are examined in the light of the predetermined deviation tolerance limit. If the deviations are within the limits, they can be avoided. But if they cross the limits, they should be reported to the higher level managers without any delay. There are two important principles regarding this. So, see like a deviation tolerance limit. You have to remember this word most commonly whenever you study about controlling. This one is used. Okay, deviation tolerance limit. Deviation tolerance limit is that, see for example, if we have set the standard, okay, we have set the standard as 100, and if our actual performance is 95, okay, and if the deviation standard, deviation tolerance limit is 5, okay, so then this one, even though there is a minus 5 is there, so the minus 5 deviation is there. So if we have kept the deviation tolerance limit as 5, it means that this is also equal to 0. Means there is no need of any action required. Do you understand? And even if it is plus 5, 105 is coming, and if there is also a deviation of plus 5. So in that case also there is no need of any reporting is not necessary, because it is coming under the deviation tolerance limit. Okay. So if it is 95 to 105, even if we have set the standard as 100 and the deviation tolerance limit we have set as 5, then 95 to 100 is okay. So if it is coming 95, 96, 98 or 101, 102, any of these are okay. There are no any issue. Okay, there is no need of any major actions required. But if it is below this one, if it is 92, okay, if it is below 90, if it is below the deviation. So like now, this is negative and the deviation tolerance is 5 given and it is even below that. Then what will happen? Then we have to inform it to the higher authority and some necessary actions has to be taken. Okay, then we will be finding out what is the reason behind that. So there may be some reasons like the machinery may not be performing properly, the employees may not be skilled ones, employees may not be willing to work, employees might not be motivated, So many kind of issues will be there. So then the managers, they will find out what is the reason. So the supervisor, they will be informing it to the higher authority, and they will be finding out the reason and take proper actions against that. Do you understand? If it is within the limits, there is no any issue. Okay. So there are two types of principles are there for handling the deviation tolerance. First one, principle of critical point control. It is neither economical nor easy to have a check on all the activities of an organization. Hence, those activities should be determined which are important to the success of an organization. These are known as key result areas, KRA, key result areas. It means that the manager should be involved in should not be involved in small insignificant activities, but should pay more attention to those activities where unfavorable results can cause heavy loss to the enterprise. In this reference, it is said that an effort to control everything may end up in controlling nothing. So there is a saying like an effort to control everything may end up in controlling nothing. Okay. So here, critical point control, principle of critical point control means that in case of this one, we will have to see which is the most important point or most important areas that we have to consider. Okay. So if like when we are producing the things, like manufacturing of product is there, and while we are producing, some dust is falling down, or some kind of problems are created. So such kind of things we should not be considered. Okay, there are some minor things are there. Those minor things should not be given much importance. We should have to consider which are the major things, and if because of this there is a heavy loss for the company or not. Okay, if it is not going to affect the company, or if it is not going to affect the employees much, so such kind of things have to be avoided. Okay, when we consider, or even the quality, when we are checking the quality, if there are any minor problems are there, very small problems are there, so that can be avoided. Okay, so such kind of method is called as a critical control, critical point control. Means that we will consider only the most important things. We are not going to consider about the unnecessary actions or insignificant actions or any kind of problems found. Okay. So imagine that, like if you find that if at home, if like in a class, if there is a student, and we see like if controlling is there, so in between is like if I am taking a class, and in between if I find that one person is like talking, so asking something, just once. Okay. So such kind of cases there, then we are not going to ask or scold him. Okay. Until and unless it is not going to interfere or it will create a problem in the class. So if you see like both of you are talking there and you are shouting and discussing and you are and after that also you continue for many time, then we will be asking or we will be taking action against it, isn't it? If I say that if one person is looking that side or he is looking this side, if each and everything if I am going to control, then I cannot take the class. Okay, I will be worried about that. Okay, one student is looking at outside there, and one is looking from outside there, that side. So if all these things, if I go for controlling, if he is looking there and I will call him and tell him to look at me, then he will be looking outside there. Then I will call him and tell him to look at me. Isn't it? So if I am going for controlling everything, then nothing will be controlled. Means my work will not be completed. Okay, so when I am teaching, my more concentration is on teaching. And if you are talking or if your activity is going to, so if you are either, if like I have to make you understand about the topic, so that is my purpose. And if up to 80%, if I am able to make you understand, or if at least see like if there are 10 people in the class, at least 8 of you are listening or 6 of you are listening, then I will continue my class. Okay, 1 or 2 are not going here and there, or if they are not here, I am not going to worry about that. Do you understand? So if I am going to concentrate on that particular person, then the time of other 8 members are lost. Do you understand? So that is called the critical point control. So if a manager is there and if the manager has to control everything in the organization, then he may not be able to control everything or anything. Okay, so he will be worried, and say if imagine that if you are like if any like if your financial control if you are doing, so if there is like some minor like 1 rupee, 2 rupee loss or there something like that is there. And if you are trying to, if a company is run and like few like 5 rupees loss is there or 10 rupees loss is there, so for that you are going to do so many actions. Then what will happen? For gaining that, you may have to spend some 500 rupees for that. Means in order to avoid this loss of 5 rupees, you may have to spend some 500 rupees. So which is better? Leaving that 5, isn't it? So if you consider that 5 rupees, let it go, there is no problem. If you consider like that, then there will not be much loss. But if you have to avoid that 5 rupees loss, you may have to spend 500 rupees. Then there is no benefit in that. Do you understand? So only the important things we will be taking into consideration, and those things will be handled. Then the next rule is that principle of exception. According to this principle, a manager should take corrective action when there is exceptional deviation. Hence, by exceptional deviation we mean the especially good or especially bad deviation. For example, if a company has lays down 3% increase in bad debts as an acceptable level, it means increase in bad debts up to 3% should not be brought to the notice of the manager concerned. Okay. So here exception. So some just like this one, see like this, some up to, as I told you, like critical control. This one is there. So just this one method is there. So here it means that like 5% of exception is given. So there are some people or some workers are there. They may be like almost reaching to the target. Okay. So there are some like 2% or 3% exception may be there. So that such kind of things can be tolerated. There is no need of taking action against that. Do you understand? If it is going beyond this limit, then we have to take action. Okay. So there is a limit will be set. Deviation tolerance limit will be there, and some like 5% exception is given. Okay. So in every cases there are some exceptions always. You know, see, like imagine that you are purchasing. It's like if you are running a shop. Okay. So some people will come and purchase the products and go, and you might have kept a policy that you are not going to give credit to anybody. Okay. But sometimes even if you have the policy, you know that this is there. But imagine that some person is coming and telling that I don't have money. You give me the product, and they are purchasing say like some 100 rupees product. And you say that no, I will not give you credit. It is not our policy. I cannot give you. If you are very stubborn to this one, and what happens if that person is a very good customer and he is really giving the money, and in an exceptional case he came and at that time he did not have money and he was in very need of this product, and there was no any other option that he can see, like if at their family the husband was not there and the wife was there, then she came and had to purchase something. And when the husband comes, then he will bring the money and pay the money. There is no any issue there. But you are saying that no, in our case we cannot accept this one. We are not giving credit to anybody. What will happen? So that lady, she will go to the another shops, and if that shopkeeper is willing to give, even if that means every day that lady or that family is purchasing products from our shop. But one day she came like that, and she will go to another shop, and she is going to that new shop, and if that shopkeeper is ready to give her credit, 100 rupees product will be given her credit, then what will happen? That customer will be lost. Isn't it? Next time she will not come to our shop. Okay. So if we give 100 rupees, like 100 rupees credit if we are giving, she may give or may not give, that we don't know. But if we are ready to take a loss of 100 rupees, then we can maintain that customer. Isn't it? So like one day I was there, I was going from here to that side, Basti side. Okay, so on the way I was going, and I was simply just like evening, simply I was going, not now, almost 1 year back, 1 or 2 years back, many years back when I was there. At least some 2 or 3 years back it was there. So I was not very common here, means just I was going, and I was not having any money with me. Only that ATM card was there, and I went and I was going with bike, and on the way when I reached almost near to that Badavel, nearby that, then my bike petrol got out. Okay. Then I went and I came that side one. When we are coming side, but which one Bharat Petroleum? Which petrol pump is there? That side, this side.
Yes, Bharat.
This side Indian Oil is there. That side Bharat Petroleum is there. Isn't it? So normally I used to put petrol in this one, Indian Oil one. Okay. Then I went there, and I was just near to that. Then I went there and asked that person. Then I told that it's like some 100 rupees petrol, and so that I can somehow I can reach back home, and I will take the money and bring you back. But they said that they will not give. Means we cannot give credit. It is not possible. And I went into that Bharat Petroleum petrol pump. And there I went there and I asked him. Then I told that I can you just put. I am coming from this different school and I am a teacher there. And I asked that person and he told that you can put petrol and if it is 100 or 200 you put. And after that whenever you eat it, and he also told me that no need to give. For giving the money, you need not to come now. Next time when you come, because it's our school bus is putting petrol from there, so they know. And they he told that you can put petrol, and when you come next time, you can put petrol there. But I took petrol, filled my petrol for some 20 rupees, and I came back to my home and took money and went and gave it. And he was somewhat surprised. Also, means nobody is asking. Normally, somebody is asking money and putting petrol and going, then they will never come back. So then I came and on the spot itself I came there, and after that I started going to that petrol pump. Means earlier I was using Indian Oil one, but after that I changed to this one. And now again they say that this Bharat Petroleum, that petrol is not good. It seems some telling it. Okay. Not in everyone this petrol pump. I don't know exactly how it is there. So that is there. So like our attitude towards that shop is entirely changed. Do you understand? So this is the way that we have to see. So there are like some kind of tolerance, some kind of adjustments we have to make. Some exceptional cases are there, isn't it? So whoever may be, whatever may be the work that we are doing, in that case, some exceptions are there, isn't it? Like if imagine that like a fees payment is there. So like we know that like you have to now see it is the case of your examination, and at the time of examination, if you are supposed to pay the fees, and you have to get the exam kit only when you are paying the fees. But in some cases, some parents are there, they are very genuine parents are there, they are willing to pay and they are ready to pay the fees, but there may be some exceptional cases are there, some kind of issues are there. So when they come and talk, then father will give exceptions. You know, some cases it is there. And some parents are there, they are having money and they are in such a position that they can pay the money, but they say that they don't have money to pay. You know, so it depends on the people. Some kind of people are there, they are willing, some are not willing. So there will be different type of people are there. And it will be or there. So, but there will be some kind of exceptions. We cannot continue without this. So, like this lockdown situation is there, people are not having money, and such kind of problems will be there. So, some kind of exceptions we will have to take. So, these two methods are used there. First one is that principle of critical point control, means that we consider only the most important activities. Okay, we give consideration for most important activities and unnecessary activities are avoided. Okay, so if we are finding out the reason, see like if an employee is working in an organization and he is normally like every month he is achieving the target, and in this month he could not achieve the target, maybe because that employee's mother is sick and he has to go to hospital and he is disturbed in that way. So if that person is there and normally see like if that employee is working in this company for maybe some 2-3 years, and all these years he has been achieving the target, there was no issue. But in this month he could not achieve the target. So then what happens? It is because of his mother is sick and he is taking care of her mother and he is not able to concentrate on the job. So at that time we cannot compel that employee to you have to achieve, or we cannot take any like a punishment or something like that. We should not be there. Okay. If in such a case it is there, then that employee will leave the company and go. You know. So if an employee, if the manager is treating the employee in such a way, then he will. Or so like sometimes when an employee is asking for a leave, normally like if an employee is present for every day, and in an exceptional case, if he is asking, see like if his wife is sick, or if his father is or mother is sick, or any kind of problems are there. At that time, if he is asking for a leave, then we will have to give leave. There are some people are there, they come only once in a while. Some employees are there, especially the people, those who are getting government job and all, after getting the job, they never go and see the office also. Most of the time they go, and even if they go, they put signature and come back. But some are there, they are going regularly and willing, means nicely working. So, these type of problems can be found. So, it is important to clarify the difference between the principle of critical point control and the principle of exception. Under the principle of critical point control, it is sought to be understood on which points or activities control will be profitable. While in the principle of exception, deviation is taken care of in respect of the predetermined critical points, and in case of more deviation in respect of some particular critical point, corrective action is taken. Okay. So, next one is the advantage of critical point control and management by exception. So, there are two methods are there, critical point control and management by exception. Okay. So, management by exception means that giving some deviations, some limits we are setting, and we see to it that even if this much limit is there, this much deviation is there, then we will leave it. And other one means that critical point control means that we will find out which are the most important points or critical points which are more profitable for the organization, and we will give more concentration on those things. And there are some things which are not going to affect the profits, or which are not going to make much loss for the company. So those things we will be avoiding. Okay. So the following advantages are obtained by following these principles. By taking care of important deviations, both time and efforts are saved. So when we check this one, see like if we go for very minute things, then what happens? We have to spend more time on that, and so much amount of effort also will be spent for that, and that much benefit we will not get. Okay. If an employee is reaching up to this one 95, and if we are more forcing him that somehow you have to reach to 100 only, then only we will be continuing. If you make continue force him like that, then that employee may leave the organization and go. Means he is almost approaching this one. And even if we don't take any action, sometimes like if this month he is achieving 95, even if we don't do any control action, next time he will achieve. Is it no? So he knows that I am already reaching to the target, and even if I give little more effort, I can achieve the target. You understand? So in that case, there is no need of taking any action. And in the organization, just a little bit motivation of the employees are enough. With that, the work will go. There is no any kind of much. If we are going to do so much effort for that, then the time and effort that we are going to spend will be so much high, and that much benefit we will not get. The managers remain focused on the important areas. So there is like the managers can concentrate on the main areas. There is no need of unnecessary things or insignificant things. The managers need not to be worried about. Okay. Then delegating authority to handle less important problems to the subordinates helps in raising their morale. Okay, so there may be some kind of less important things will be there. So those things can be delegated to the subordinates. Okay, so like if a class teacher is there, some works will be there which can be done by the students also. Okay, so sometimes if that work is handed over to the student, then that student will feel that so like a teacher is respecting me, or teacher is considering me as a good student, or see like their feeling will be increased, and this will motivate that employee to study well. And this will also motivate other employees, you know. So if he is doing nicely, he is behaving nicely in the class, that's why the teacher is giving some duty to him. So if I be also responsible like that, then if I do some work properly, then teacher will again give me some kind of jobs like that. So any other appointments will be there, like leadership and all. You know, sometimes like some leaders, some teachers may take the naughtiest student, find out the naughtiest student in the class and make him the leader. Okay, because the naughtiest one will always know that who all are the naughty ones. You know, exactly he will know, and he will know that what are the activities. The very studious student is there, very nice student is there. He will may not be knowing who all are the naughty ones, and they will not be able to find out the ones. But the naughty one he know exactly, because all of them are his own control, his own friends. You know. So he will be able to control, he will be able to find out them, and he will be able to control them. So this way, and by locating important problems quickly, possible loss can be avoided. So if we are concentrating on the most important aspects, then we can avoid the losses. Okay, so like it means which we are concentrating on the only important things are there, so only those things we have to consider. So in that way we can reduce the reduce maximum amount of loss. Delegating authority to handle less important problems to the subordinates. That only I told you, na, like if any unimportant work is there, then that will be 100. Means delegating authority. Delegation of authority or studies, na, means that giving the important like workload to another some subordinates. Okay, see, like as I told you, like class teacher is there, so some work is there. That work actually it is supposed to be done by the class teacher, but that work may be given to one student. Imagine that's like some, for example, some charity fund is to be collected. So it is the duty of the class teacher to collect the fund, but he appointed like if like farewell program is there. So for that you need to collect the fund and contribution from students. So this is the duty of the class teacher actually, but he will hand over this job to a student, or maybe like taking attendance. Attendance may not be given like that, or any other important, less important work will be there. So those things will be handed over to the subordinates. So they will be also motivated. Understood? They will be motivated and they will be ready to work with more dedication. Okay? Okay, thank you so much.